Hi, it's Joy Foster, founder of TechPixies and the host of the Sparkle and Thrive podcast. And we have a special episode. This is particularly for our alumni and our existing TechPixies. But of course, if you're listening to this and you love the podcast, you're also going to love the message that we're about to share. So I have with me two sisters who are also dream builders. They went through our dream builder program. So Hannah and Jess, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Morning.
Thanks for having us. Morning.
This is not their first time on our show because they have been on the TechPixies Sparkle and Thrive podcast before, and they talked about what it was like to launch a clothing-based business, and they talked about the story behind the business, why they do what they do, and so just give us a little refresher in case people are new to the podcast and they haven't heard your initial story. Why did you get into the business that you're in? And of course, you've even rebranded since we did our last podcast. So maybe talk a little bit about the rebrand. So I don't know who wants to go first, but let's open it up to you guys.
It all started with pom-poms initially around a kitchen table. Just the love of doing something crafty, mindful. And then that led on to a little business. There were three of us initially. And then our friend who was with us wanted to do something different, and the timing was great because we're all still really good friends, but we were like, actually we want to do something different too. So that's when we got into the clothing, because we just love to print and design. So we had to go at that. And we love stars, as you can see, which is why we have a common interest, Joy. But yeah, we lost our dad 4 years now, which seems crazy, but we wanted to sort of we've got a star on every garment that we create, and look, we've all got stars. And it's in his honor, really, just to feel like we've got a little bit of him in everything that we do. He was a business mentor, a coach. We have so many questions for him all the time, and we just kind of trying to channel in, like, what would he say to us right now? What would he advise? What would he do? So yeah, we carry that with us throughout. And yes, we created this clothing brand, Northern Brights. It's our new name, and it's really fun. It's just lovely to be able to do something creative and fun together. And we're always learning every day. Every day is a school day. We've made plenty of mistakes, learnt from them, which is what it's all about. And we're just keeping on going because it's something we really believe in and want to just see it go even further. So
well, and I love the brand. I love the stars as well. And a lot of our community knows you and loves you as well. So, especially those who've done Dream Builder with you and have followed your story. And we have decided to work together to launch a range of clothing, t-shirts and sweatshirts. And what do you call the big ones with the
these
hoods?
are like the cowl neck hoodies. So they're nice, snuggly cowl necks. They're lovely.
Cowl necks, yeah. So I'm very excited about this because we have our own place that you can go to get TechPixies swag, and 5% of the sales will go back into the Partners in Believing Fund, which is just so exciting, because I also want to take this opportunity to share a little bit of information about the Partners in Believing Fund and why we started it and what's happened with it over the last couple of years, and give people an update on that. And then we're going to reveal the amazing swag that you guys have created for TechPixies. So I'm very excited about that. But let's just talk for a second about the Partners in Believing Fund, what it is, why it exists. So TechPixies at its heart is a social enterprise. We have always wanted to make sure that women have access to technology, no matter what background they come from. And so we identified 4 groups of people that we felt needed additional support. And that's women on universal credit, PIP or ESA, as well as women over the age of 60, women from BAME backgrounds and LGBTQ plus backgrounds. Now, interestingly enough, a lot of people say to me, well, what does BAME actually mean? What does it stand for? And it's interesting because a lot of people that's a term that's some people use, some people don't use. So what BAME stands for is Black, Asian, and Minority Ethnic. So that's what we define BAME as. So we've always had this goal and this mission that no matter what your background is, we will support you. And so last year, a couple of the TechPixies who'd gone through the programs that we run came to me. They were in the DreamBuilder program, and in the DreamBuilder program, we have something called Partners in Believing. Now, Hannah and Jess are partners in believing for each other. They also have, I think their spouses are partners in believing for them as well. Do you guys want to define what, from your memory, from your DreamBuilder program, what a partner in believing is and how you guys do that for each other?
I think, yeah, it's very much about having that person that does support you in everything you do and is there it's got your back, basically, pushes you in the right direction, encourages you, just has that same belief that you have. So it's making sure that you're in it together, basically. But yeah, we feel extremely lucky that we have each other with the same dream, the same vision, but also having lots of people around us. And we do have some incredible friends and our families and everything, and you as well, Joy. You're incredible. You always give us a lovely boost and send us in the right direction. So absolutely, it's a very important thing to have in whatever you do.
Well, and yeah, exactly that. It's someone who believes in you, even when you have trouble believing in yourself, and wants to see the best in you and what's right for you. They want to see what you would love for your life. They want to see that for you. So I'm going to just put on, and hopefully it's not going to cause any problems. I think we're good. So this is this is our Partner in Believing Fund information from last year. So in 2020, not 2023, 2022. So in 2022, the average scholarship that we provided, now we've changed our system from a scholarship system to a pay it forward system, and I'll sort of explain what that means. But the average scholarship that we gave in 2022 was valued at £911. And we gave 21,864 pounds of social media accelerator scholarships in 2022. And then we had about 40% of our students receiving scholarships, and two really wonderful stories that came out of our scholarships. And we have lots of wonderful stories, but two were those of Grace and of Sarah. And I've interviewed both of them on the podcast, so we'll add their links to the show notes. But Grace wanted to understand social media to dive into a career as a social media manager. And then she practiced her skills by showcasing her hair care products on TikTok, and they went viral. So she ended up getting one video on TikTok that got 4 million views. It generated over 4,000 followers on her TikTok account. And she now has a very steady job, and she's still building up her creator side of things. But it was a wonderful, I got to interview her about what it was like to go viral on TikTok. So you can listen to that episode at techpixies.com/episode 159. And then Sarah Darling is another wonderful story who benefited from our scholarships. It used to take her 20 hours to create a single social media post, but with our step-by-step training, she discovered the power of video, and she became the authority in the canine gait massage therapy space. So she does dog massage, and it transformed her life. Not only did she, rebuild her business post-COVID, but she ended up getting married, finding the love of her life. Her entire perspective on things changed. So techpixies.com/episode 171 is where you can hear about her. And I love that these ladies came to me and they said, Joy, we want to start a Partners in Believing Fund. They were the very first cohort of people that had gone through our program. So let's unveil today where just how much has changed in that program. And we still need to add the stories from the scholarship students or the pay it forward students from last year. But we have some really great information to share. I'm very excited about this. So let me bring this screen up and we can go through this as well. So in 2023, we raised 11,623 pounds, which was super exciting. And this came from lots of different places. So we had 1,500 pounds that came from our Festival of Inspiration. We had 1,700 pounds that came from our Partners in Believing commitment. We had 4,749 pounds that came from our superhero boot camps. We had 1,998 pounds that came from our vision workshops. We had 1,500 pounds that came from our Money Mindset Masterclass. So there were lots of different ways that we raised money last year. And what was really exciting is that in 2023, we provided 1,770 pounds for each woman in the program. We had 45% of our students on receiving support from the fund, and 39 women benefited from a total of 69,030 pounds in reduced fees for their training for that year. So I'm super excited about this information, and we're always thinking about creative new ways that we can fundraise. And as you know, there's a gap, right? I mean, in the DreamBuilder world, we talk about the gap. There's where we are and where we want to be. And one of the things that we recognize is we provided 69,000 pounds in reduced fees, and yet our fund raised 11,600. So there's a gap between what we've raised and what we're actually providing. And that's why we're constantly thinking of different ways that we can get support. And so I was telling you guys about this idea, and you said, well, we can solve that. We can help contribute to that. And so what have we decided to do together to help close that gap on the funding for us?
So we've created a range of t-shirts, sweatshirts, and these lovely cowl neck hoodies. There's an assortment of 4 different colours, and we worked with you, Joy, didn't we, as to what you would like to see on there. And one of your main values of, be brave and the DreamBuilder, and so they were kind of the two that really stood out, wasn't it? So we've got those on all of our t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies in a lovely metallic gold and neon pink, because they go on everything beautifully. And the 5% from every sale will go towards the Partners in Believing fund. So we're hoping we can raise lots more for you.
Yes, and also we've got a really exciting announcement for February. And what's the announcement for February?
So the announcement for February is, throughout February, we're offering an extra 10% off until the end of February, just to sort of get things started and just share the love a little bit more, because February's, the month of love. So we just want to share a little bit more with you this month, and hope that makes a little difference to everybody.
Well, and tell everybody how these are made, because this is not this is not drop shipping. You actually you make these. Talk about the quality of them. Talk about how you actually make them, because what I love is that this is something that you guys personally hand make.
Yeah. So wherever possible, we make sure we've got all everything's ethically sourced. We make sure that everything's as organic as it possibly can be. We're all about longevity. We don't want to be part of this throwaway culture, and obviously then hopefully the messages that are on these are long-standing anyway, but we want everything to, the quality to us is extremely important, so everything washes extremely well and it does last. But everything we do is handmade, hand printed. Every single item is individually made by us, so designed, printed, pressed, packaged, sent off with love into the post for whoever to receive, and hopefully enjoy wearing for a very, very long time.
And of course, they can have a sneak peek around your shop and find other things that they would like to get as well.
Yeah. So there's lots of our own designs on there as well. So obviously we've got all your bits too, and then some of our other ones on there too.
Awesome. Well, I love everything you guys do. And what is amazing is that gold I've been able to wash and rewash and wash and rewash, and it still looks great. And I love wearing my Be Brave t-shirt. Well, we have some custom ones that we had done for the team that say Be Brave and Sparkle, but we decided to go for Be Brave for the TechPixies swag, because I think it's just a really strong statement, that we want you to really be brave, and building this business for you guys was a brave move, and continuing to do this business and rebranding this business. All of those things have been brave moves that you've carried on doing. What would you say, you've obviously done the DreamBuilder program as well. How has that impacted you with the business?
it gives you a different focus, I think, so much. And it, having your own business is incredibly hard. Yeah, you doubt yourself an awful lot, but actually the process of that is so brilliant. You get this wonderful community. We've met, honestly, the things we went through on that journey, things we had absolutely no idea was going to, come up and affect us. We all got incredibly close, had some very, very deep conversations, looking at it wasn't just about business in the end, it was all about individuals, us as people, like things that we were dealing with, things that maybe stopped us moving forward, but then ways that we could move forward. There's so much in it. You are amazing, Joy. Honestly, the program's amazing. Everything you do is wonderful, and we're really glad we got to be a part of doing that. And it's lovely that we can go back and remind ourselves as well that we've come a long way.
Yeah.
We've still got ways to go, but it's always that we've got those building blocks there. So it's a brilliant, brilliant program.
And the support's ongoing, which is really lovely. It doesn't just stop. It's, still there, carrying on the support, which is really lovely.
Well, I respect everything you guys do. I'm so grateful that you said, yes to helping us find other ways to raise money for our Partners in Believing Fund. And of course, I'm very grateful that you've given this wonderful 10% off as well for the month of February. So go check out all of these beautiful products that they've created for us. TechPixies.com/swag. That'll take you to the Northern Brights website. You can then get stuff from TechPixies. You can also shop around for them. We got Valentine's Day coming up, so maybe an opportunity to shop for a loved one. But just to say, I really love your story. I love what you've created, and I'm really excited to be partnering with you. And so thank you for doing that, and thank you for supporting the Partners in Believing Fund.
Yeah, thank you. It's lovely to be able to do this with you as well.
Yay!
Well,
All
go
right.
shop. People go shop.
Go shop. TechPixies.com/swag. Go shop. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Well, I love a good partnership, and we've got a great partnership with Northern Brights. And, I'm a big fan of female businesses collaborating with female businesses. So if you are interested in getting merchandise, you can go to techpixies.com/swag. That is where you can get some great t-shirts and sweatshirts and some cow neck hoodies, all that good stuff. And of course, if you have any questions whatsoever, email us at support@techpixies.com. And we're delighted to be working together on this project. And I see that there's some really nice little comments coming in about loving the cow neck ones. She feels a purchase coming up. I love it. So thanks to those who are watching live, and go have a peruse and see if there's some swag in there that you want to get your hands on. All right. Bye for now. Thanks for listening.